Hey guys, Brad from RotoHeat back at it with another 2020 player outlook. This time we're talking Mecole Hardman, wide receiver, Kansas City Chiefs. If you've been enjoying all this content from the RotoHeat.com team, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the notification icon, show us a little love.
Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire. Everything's on fire.
2019 was kind of a tale of two seasons for Hardman. You know, to start the season off, he was on fire. You know, had almost 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. And then the second half of the season didn't hit 200 yards, and when he had like 2 touchdowns. Obviously as a rookie, we weren't expecting great things, elite level things, just because of the fact that there's just so many options on that offense. Tyreek, Kelce, Watkins. Running back wise, they didn't have amazing receivers, but that changed this offseason when they added Clyde Edwards-Helaire in the draft. So looking ahead to 2020. I wouldn't expect much difference when it comes to Hardman. Probably in the 600 to 800 yards and probably the 4 to 6 touchdowns is about where I would expect him to be. If I'm doing redraft, he's kind of a priority guy that I would consider getting at the back end of the draft as your depth piece, because anything happens to Hill or Watkins, he immediately steps up to being a borderline weekly starter at that point, and probably would be a starter at that point, just because of how dynamic that offense is. Truth be told, in the fantasy world, in dynasty world, he's a guy that I want to own, but he's a guy that you're just going to have to sit on. So in redraft, he's probably not a guy that you're going to get starter level production weekly on, unless something happens to somebody ahead of him. Year 2 in the system, he's going to continue to develop. The sky is the limit for this kid, but unfortunately, there's just a ton of options in that offense, and they are great. It's a great offense, but I think it's going to take him some more time to not only develop, but to get an opportunity to really be a consistent producer. In the redraft world, I'm not taking him till the back half of the draft. Kind of rounds 11, 12 on, depending on how big your redraft rosters are. In the dynasty world, obviously he's already on everybody's team, but if you're buying him, you're still probably paying what you would have had to pay to get him last year, just because he produced well, showed that there was a good connection between him and Mahomes, and there's that continued hope of kind of wide receiver 1 type production down the road when Hill and Watkins and some of these, Kelce, some of these. Watkins probably is only another year in this system anyway, and Kelce's getting up there in age. So, the sky is the limit for Hardman once he really gets the reins and gets that starting job, but that's going to take some time for that to happen. So, you're going to pay a premium to get him, but it's probably a better price than what you'd have to pay when he becomes kind of a starter and starts producing at that high level. So, what I'm going to tell you is, if you're going to buy him, you got to buy him soon, because as soon as he hits and he's going and he's really producing well, he's going to be even more expensive to get. If you're selling him, I would still expect a premium for him. I'm probably still asking, a first plus for him, just because the talent's there, the opportunity is going to be there, and the future is bright for this guy. So don't forget, let us know in the comments what you think about Mecole Hardman. Find us on Twitter, find us on Facebook, find us on any of those social media platforms, Instagram. You can send us messages here on YouTube. We're here to help you build a great fantasy roster.
Also, right there, playlist. Hit it. Watch the videos. Do it. You want to. Do it.